There's that feeling when a father first sees their daughter. She's born, you're like, oh man, I want to give her the whole world. But then, I guess for me, there's also that feeling of, I can't. Days and nights. My daughter, little half white, half Hispanic girl that doesn't even know it. I want her to grow up and see this immigration problem solved. I want her to know that her daddy doesn't have to go away, or that anyone even she meets in her life doesn't have to suffer the same way that we have, or that people continue to suffer.
We're always facing challenges, and there are always obstacles for us to overcome. And policies are always changing, and the people that live in this state are always changing. And so we have an obligation and a responsibility to do everything we can to do the right thing. I believe that if Kentuckians really know the facts, and if they really know how this broken immigration system impacts people, I believe they'll do the right thing.
He is your typical American kid. He loves video games, he loves to read, he loves the next big ab, very much career-oriented. If you see him, you would have never think, and no one ever knew that he was undocumented. It was a secret, a family secret.
I was a blank slate, and so I grew up as an American in American schools, speaking English, learning history, just all the same sort of things. But all that time not even knowing of my status. Like, it wasn't something that was revealed to me until I was about 16 years old.
What a lot of people don't know is the constitutional rights that most of us are afforded, like due process or equal protection, are afforded to every person in the United States, regardless of your immigration status.
You have to protect yourself. You are in this country, a country that criminalizes you, that doesn't want you here.
The Pew Center estimates there's around 80,000 Kentuckians that don't have immigration status. I think a lot of people don't understand that a huge number of immigrants who are undocumented at some point were documented, or at some point in the future could be documented. And for those people that aren't documented, they have exhausted every appeal. They have spent every dollar that they have to try to get status, and there is no line for them to get into.
After his diagnosis and he passed away, we received a letter that, they were reopening his case. It would have meant the world to my father to get that letter, even though it came too late. Because this is where he felt he belonged. He loved this country the same way that I love it.
People don't realize who the population is of unlawfully present individuals. And many people who have been in the United States for years are fully acculturated, part of our society, would be lost in their home countries if they were forced to go back, and only know life in the United States and are participating, contributing in terms of paying taxes, are starting businesses in the United States.
I think at the end of the day, you just have to weigh in that if something can happen and something can change, then you can get rid of that fear in the back of your head.
When I met Kate Miller, she was so passionate about immigration and she was so willing to hear our story. And it was really the first time that I had a voice. I had an opportunity to tell a congressman my story.
The whole time I'm thinking, this is an American thing to do. Americans go up to their politicians and tell them, this is what needs to change. The ACLU helped me come out saying, hey, I don't have to be afraid anymore.
When the ACLU represents an individual or ensures that the legislature is aware of the particular impact, we are doing the work to ensure that we're protecting the civil rights of all people of Kentucky. And so all Kentuckians benefit when civil rights are protected, when employment rights are protected, when non-citizen rights are protected. It is the most important thing that an organization can do.
To fear every day that you might come home from school and your parents won't be there because they're getting deported. No one with a heart wants that to happen. I can't imagine what that would feel like, but I know that it would hurt. And I think most Kentuckians know that. And if they knew those types of stories, they would want to do whatever they could to fix our immigration system so that we don't have people unnecessarily suffering.
I mean, I go from working at Captain D's to applying for DACA, finally getting a social security card, finally getting a driver's license, finally getting a big boy job. I mean, it almost feels too surreal to think that I have all these things that I wanted for so long. At the same time, the feeling in the back of my head goes away for 2 years. It will never be a path, it's a Band-Aid.
I want to continue this. I want to continue fighting for my father, for my brother, for the people that I meet throughout the way.
My parents' mentality was, we hope this happens, we hope this legislation gets passed, we're gonna wait forever for this, and I'm not gonna wait around forever. I'm gonna try to do something to make a change.